most of the time, a feminine energy being is going to desire connection. So let me heal this, integrate this, process this so I feel connected, right? Those would be the differences in a more masculine energy that's more directive and leadership and showing up and claiming, right? Or a more feminine energy that's more allowing and receptive and receiving, right? But all of us have masculine and feminine energy inside of us. So Allana Pratt here, intimacy expert and host of the podcast. If you haven't, what is it called? You subscribe to a podcast. Mine is called Intimate Conversations. I think I've probably interviewed over 850 people in my life. There's some really amazing conversations, new ones every single week. And if you just, in the search bar, search for a topic, I'm pretty sure something will come up that will really feed your soul. And so your question is, Allana, why do relationships affect men and women differently? Well, at the end of the day, or the beginning of the day, or throughout the day, we all have the same heart. We all have the same heart. And all of our hearts get wounded. We all, at some point, have been let down, betrayed, rejected, not heard, not seen. You know, nobody's perfect, including us, or our parents, or our partners, right? So on that level, gender or sexual orientation doesn't matter whatsoever. A more masculine energy being is going to want freedom, ultimately just freedom. And so that wound, the outcome that they're looking for, the result they're generally looking for, where they're feeling their best, is let me feel better, let me integrate this wound so that I feel free. Most of the time, a feminine energy being is going to desire connection. So let me heal this, integrate this, process this so I feel connected, right? Those would be the differences in a more masculine energy that's more directive and leadership and showing up and claiming, right? Or a more feminine energy that's more allowing and receptive and receiving, right? But all of us have masculine and feminine energy inside of us. So there can often be a very masculine man whose next level of integration has to do with receiving. I'm thinking of a client in general, very masculine man, and yet he has trouble receiving the communication of his partner. So that's not his masculine energy that needs to be worked on. It's his feminine capacity to sit in the fire and receive without justification or fixing, right? Or same relationship, you know, she's very feminine, beautiful, gorgeous, and very nurturing as a mother and all the rest of it. And yet sometimes the speaking up part of what's really true for her from deep within her heart is her edge to work on. So that would be more of her masculine energy to speak up, show up, make it land in a way that can be received, right? So we're different because that's what, I don't know, makes the planet go round. Yin, yang, Shiva, Shakti, up, down, right? All these dualities, they're within us and they're within our relationships. And so instead of seeing them as a wrongness, what is the gift in that? What is the gift in that of learning to become more in balance inside of your heart and balance out the triggers in your relationship? What if that's not wrong? What if that's an inspiration, a catalyst, an invitation for you to do the next level of your soul's evolution? Yes. And so I like to imagine, it's silly maybe, but inside of my heart are a king and a queen. Okay. The typical stereotypical masculine, feminine. And I like to imagine that they're having a conversation. And whatever they're pissed about is, or feeling lonely or abandoned about, or downright sad about, whatever, is an indication of how I can evolve, speak more kindly to myself, slow down and listen, show up more and be braver, take risks, whatever it is. If I listen and I allow my king and queen to chit chat, a lot of truth is revealed. So that's a little tip that I encourage you to engage in. You can do that journaling. You can do that by meditating, go for a walk, whatever's easiest for you to listen and then to feel. We can't go through life, I call it sprinkles on top of the ice cream cone of shit. We can't just like think our way. You know, coherence, science proves You cannot think your way into higher coherence. Impossible. You can feel your way, though. That's how you raise your coherence, by feeling. And so many of us have not learned how to feel, been rewarded for feeling, have any fun feeling. So a lot of us just live in our head. And we wonder why we keep continuing these sabotaging patterns and feeling alone and isolated. It's because we're feeling alone and isolated from ourselves, from our soul, from our little you, from our heart, whatever way resonates. But when you begin to feel even the difficult things, it's a way of saying to that part of you that's sad, you matter too. And I'm not here to feel you so I can just fix you, because that's a form of judgment. Just feel to feel. It will pass. But if you resist it, it will grow. And so we here at AllanaPratt.com and in my company are trained in beautiful quantum psychology, spiritual technology processes, equilibration processes to help you feel your way back into balance, back into grace, back into presence. And from that place, the best of your brain can choose and the best of your intuition can know. And it feels safe to be in your skin. And it feels joyful to be on the planet. And in the face of pain, you have empathy for yourself and others. And so you are safe to be around because you don't just override people or spiritually bypass them or make them feel not safe, seen, or heard. You're the one they call. And that's intimacy. Yes, intimacy is also bow, chicka, bow, bow. But to me, intimacy is the umbrella under which all of that beautiful connection with self and the divine and other occurs. And to me, that's the rich, rich, rich core, fundamental building block of self-realization, where you finally feel home in yourself. We'd love to support you with that. AllanaPratt.com/connect would be your first step in learning more about what your intimacy blind spot may be, so that you can take your power back, so that you can feel home in your skin, which is very sexy, to your person who we call them your heartmate, who you've never met, or the one that you've been living with for 20 years. Yes, as we dive deeper intimately within ourselves, our intimate relationships on the outside are enriched and deepen. And we're here to support you. All my love.